Umpisahan natin yung topic natin, mga kababayan. Umpisahan natin dito sa bagong survey na lumabas galing sa Okta Research. Oo. At sigurado ako na ikakatuwa ito, lalong-lalo na ng mga DDS. Oo. Sobrang matutuwa mga DDS dito, guys. Ay, nakaslow mo to pala. Sorry. Sobrang matutuwa ang mga DDS dito sa survey na to. Grabe. Oo, feeling ko sabihin na naman nila, peke yung sa Okta, ang totoo yung sa Publicus, tsaka sa Pulse Asia, tsaka yung sa SWS. Bakit? Pag tinanong mo kung bakit, sabihin nila, kasi doon mababa si BBM eh. Ganun yun eh. Ganun sila guys eh. Oo. Ate Maria Corazon Monar, salamat sa yung super chat. God bless po. Ganun sila eh. Ganun kasi sila. Mas gusto nila yung yung tawag dito, mas gusto nila yung biased reporting kaysa doon sa kung ano yung tunay. Hindi ko alam kung saan nag-survey ang Okta. Oo, hindi ko alam kung saan sila nag-survey. Pero definitely mukhang hindi nila sinunod kung ano yung usual na sistema. Baka hindi sila nag-survey sa Davao City masyado. Baka hindi sila nag-survey masyado sa Davao City. Which tells us na kung ganito yung sistema, baka talagang hindi naman talaga dinodominate ng Duterte family ang Mindanao, di ba? Oo, baka yan nga ay pakulo lamang ng mga, alam niyo na, mga gustong mag-mind condition, gustong kondisyonin ang ating mga isip na tayo, na si Sara Duterte ay malakas. Oo, Duterte lang daw kasi yung sakalam, sabi. Oo, so ewan natin. Pero definitely mga kababayan, merong konting tawag dito. Merong hindi pasok doon sa naratibo nila, di ba? Josefina Asuncion, salamat po sa inyong super chat. God bless po. Ito ngayon yon mga kababayan, puntahan natin yung kwentuhan na yan. Ayan, nawala tuloy. Add to stage. Okay. Yan yung kwentuhan na yan, mga kababayan. Okay? Sabi, poll findings reflect restoration of public trust in PBBM amid crisis. Oo, amid crisis daw. Ano bang sinabi dito? Itong research ng Okta. Ayan. Yan. The latest tugon ng masa survey of Okta Research showed strong public trust in President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. during a challenging period. May piyok pa yan. Both in the Philippines and in some parts of the world. Released on April 20, the Okta report showed Marcos' trust rating rose to 54% in the first quarter of 2026 from 48% in the fourth quarter. His performance rating also climbed to 55% from 51% in the previous quarter. Oo. Tumaas talaga. Tumaas guys, mga kotsero. Ito ho yung yung announcement ng Okta. Yan yung announcement ng Okta kanina. Yan o. So, President Marcos Jr. restores his trust rating in the first quarter of 2026. Ayan na nga. So, tugon ng masa survey, yan ang nanggagaling sa Okta. So, fourth quarter of 2025, noong December, bumagsak sa 48% ang trust rating ni PBBM. At alam naman natin, mga kababayan, na kaya siya bumagsak doon, kaya siya bumagsak sa survey, ay dahil sa issue ng flood control. To some degree, yung propaganda ng mga DDS ay kumagat. Kumagat laban kay PBBM. And this was the first time, or at least the first time na nakita sa survey, na bumaba below 50% sa Okta si PBBM nung December. At syempre nandiyan din yung nangako ang ating ombudsman na may mga mahuhuli daw, mapapakulong na big fish. Pero walang nagawa, meron naman, may napakulong, pero syempre nagamit laban kay presidente. yung naratibo na yon na sinasabi na wala raw napakulong kasi syempre ang ini-expect nitong mga to lalo-lalo na ng mga DDS si Martin Romualdez ang ipapakulong. Ang problema nila doon mga kababayan, wala naman kasi silang ebidensya na si Martin Romualdez ang mastermind sa likod nito. Hintayin natin. Oo. Hintayin natin kung magkakaroon ng ganong klaseng ebidensya, hindi ba? Doon tayo sa pair. 'Di ba, Ramier? Salamat sa yung super chat. Tsaka may nakita pa ako kaninang isa. Kaya Ate Josefina Asuncion, salamat din po sa inyong super chat. Ayan. So, saan ba tayo? So, yan nga. So, ngayon, mga kababayan, tumaas siya ng 54%, up 6% percentage points from Q4 of 2025. 6%, napaka-significant po niyan, no? Di ba? Kasi usually, actually, dito sa survey ng Okta, +5 -5 ang significant. So, ayan. Nakita nyo rin yung DDS advisory kanina. Mukhang tanga, no? Yung DDS advisory. Ang labo nun, men. Meron sa DDS advisory kanina. Hindi ko alam kung totoo ba yun. Pero ang naglagay, Attorney Batu. Totoo ba yun? Attorney Batu. Nakakatawa kasi parang kulto yung dating. Oo. Parang kulto. Sabi, wag daw makikinig sa mainstream media. I-block daw ang mainstream media sa Facebook. Tapos, ano ba? Wala raw ibang papainggan maliban kay Bayadbay, kay Alan Troy, kay Badoy, kay Maharloka, kay Buangson. Sila lang daw dapat painggan. Oh, ang labo, men. Oo. Diyos ko, kultong-kulto talaga. Oo, kultong-kulto. Nakakatawa. Ayan, so tumaas ang kanyang trust rating from 48 to 54%. And then, anyang performance rating ay tumaas din from 51 to 55%. So that's around 4%. Na 4 percentage points ang itinaas ng kanyang rating. Ang ito ayan. +3 -3. So significant pala talaga. So kasi ang margin of error is +3 -3. Ayan. So significant 'yan. Sabihin malaki ang nabawas at nadagdag. Puntahan ngayon natin mga kababayan yung kay Lustay. So, sabi ng Okta, majority of adult Filipinos continue to give a majority trust rating kay Sara Duterte in the first quarter of 2026. Okay, so from 53, umakyat to 55. 2 percentage points. Hindi yan significant, guys. Bakit siya hindi significant? Kasi nga, ang margin of error is only +3 -3. So anything na lalampas ng +3 o babawas ng -3, yun ang significant. Ibig sabihin, malaking pagbabago. Yun ang ibig sabihin nun. So kay Sara Duterte, halos walang nagbago. Kumbaga, sa tibok ng puso, ganun lang siya. Tibok lang. Static. Walang bago. Ganun lang. Static. Tapos, pero, bumagsak siya sa kanyang performance rating. From 54% down to 50%, -4 sa kanyang percentage points as of March 2026. Alam niyo mga kababayan, ito yung sinasabi ko na hindi bobo ang mga Pilipino. Hindi bobo ang mga Pilipino na kapag nakita nila na walang resulta sa trabaho ng isang public officer, mahahalata talaga nila yun. Mahalata nila yun. At kapag nahalata nila yan, mga kababayan, dire-diretso na yan. Wala nang ano yan. So ngayon, nakikita na ng taong bayan. Sa bagay, mga kababayan, kung titignan nyo naman talaga, try nyo. Tanungin nyo yung mga kaibigan nyo na DDS. Try nyo lang. Kapag tinanong nyo sila, may nagawa ba si Sara Duterte? Ano yung sasagot sa inyo? Meron. Siyempre sabihin lang meron. Kailangan nila ipagtanggol eh. Oo. Pag tinanong mo, ng detalye pa, anong nagawa niya? Medyo ano yun, medyo mag-intay kayo ng ano, ng konti kasi magkakamot pa ng ulo yun, tapos magre-research pa sa kanyang cellphone, tapos yung mga ganun. so, so ganun yung mangyayari doon. No joke, for sure na yun. Sure na sure yan. Oh, sure na sure. Tree planting. Pero syempre, sabi niya, tree planting. O sige, anong silbi nun sa bansa? Alam nyo kasi, ang yabang kasi niya. Ang yabang kasi ni Sara, sabi niya, tulad nun, ang dali lang naman kumuha ng, ng private jet para dalhin dun sa dahig. Diba? Ang dali lang daw eh. Oo, ang dali lang daw, min. O, nasaan ngayon yung private plane niya? Nasaan na yung chartered plane niya para mag-uwi ng mga OFW papunta ng Pilipinas? Wala, di ba? Oh. Nakikita ng mga Pilipino kasi yun. Ayan, yung libreng sakay. Sabi ni Chopaeng, libreng sakay nga, pero kailangan mo pumunta sa Office of the Vice President. Anong klaseng kalokohan yun? Anong kalokohan yun? Di ba? Libreng sakay nga, pero pupunta ka dun sa Office of the Vice President. Anong meron? Ano ibig sabihin? Ano naman katangahan yun, di ba? So, ewan ko lang. Kaya ganoon, mga kababayan. Yun ang ibig sabihin yan. Nakikita rin ho ng mga kababayan natin yung kabalbalan ng non-performance si Sara Duterte. Pero ito nga nakakatawa, mga kababayan. Kahit nakikita nila na walang ginagawa si Sara Duterte bilang public officer, meron pa ring 55% na trust rating. Ibig sabihin yan, mga kababayan, ang humihila lang sa pangalan ni Sara Duterte ay ang kanyang last name. Ulitin natin ha. Ang humihila sa pangalan ni Sara Duterte ay ang kanyang apelyido. Ganun lang, mga kababayan. Wala ho siyang bit-bit. Wala ho siyang bit-bit sa sistema ng politika sa Pilipinas. Wala siyang bit-bit na galing. Wala siyang bit-bit na husay. Oo. Maliban sa apelyido. Di ba? Maliban sa apelyido. Yun lang. Wala na. Wala na. Yun na yun. Oo, iyak na. Iyak na yung mga DDS dahil doon. Di ba? Galing magnakaw daw. Sa bagay, mamaya pag-uusapan natin yung galing niya sa pagnanakaw. Ito yung ito yung paliwanag ng ni Ranjit Rai, Professor Ranjit Rai sa tungkol dyan sa survey na yan. Ito yung paliwanag.
Joining us this afternoon is Okta Research President, Professor Ranjit Rai. Sir, magandang hapon and welcome back to Storycon.
Magandang hapon, Prof. Sawa-sawa na ako dyan.
Narinig ba yung audio?
Hi, Professor.
Thank you for always.
Hi, sir.
Hi, sir.
Yeah. So, sir, we saw the latest results of the survey for March.
Trust and performance.
Trust and performance ratings. So we want to go into that, but also we want to go into later on what was not mentioned in the.
Prof, wala kasi pakialam dyan si Reg. Gusto niya yung isa, yung hindi pa nare-report. Yan yung
Di ba pwede
yung kanyang
makapay
concern.
Wednesday?
You know, Prof, we're in this profession precisely because we couldn't wait. We need to know now.
Pupunta kami dyan. I-warm up muna namin kayo.
Di ba nagsisimula, pinakatay na.
I-warm up muna namin kayo para. Sir, sige, start off muna dun sa trust and performance rating. Okay, you pointed out si BBM nag-improve yung numbers slightly, trust and performance. Si VP Sara, yung trust rating tumaas ng konti pero it's statistically insignificant. Pero what's significant is bumaba yung kanyang performance ratings at tumaas yung what we call the ambivalence numbers. Could you walk us through that? What exactly does that show?
Okay, so this survey was undertaken in March 19 to 25. It's important to discuss it to provide the context. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yeah, sorry. So it's March 19 to 25, and that's probably the first week of the war. So this is obviously many of our countrymen looking at this probably don't feel this way anymore, no? Because of the ensuing crisis that happened, the affordability crisis, the rise in prices of oil and other basic commodities. So that being said, what was it?
Ang nega ni Prof, no? Siyempre, baka daw hindi na nafe-feel ng mga tao ngayon to kasi bago nung gera to, bla 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 bla. Hindi mo alam. Mag-survey muna kayo ulit. Si Professor, masyadong inuunahan mo yung kwento eh.
Significant here actually is the improvement in the trust ratings of the president. Remember in December when you had me here last on this issue, the president had a record decline, 9 percentage point decline in trust. That was the biggest decline in trust he has had in one quarter, and that trust has recovered a little bit, well, significantly actually, because it's about 6 percentage points.
6%, yes, sir.
That's if it's 6 percentage points, it's significant, no? In the case of his trust rating, performance ratings, they also improved, no? Slightly less. It's a plus 4 percentage points. So all of them are above 50%, no? Which means it's good, no? But in the case of the vice president, may divergence, no? May iba yung path, no? Her trust ratings, basically remain the same. And in fact, hello,
Yes,
are you still there?
Yeah.
The performance ratings went down by 4 percentage points. It's the first time in a long time that she's always maintained numbers, performance and trust numbers, almost, But this time her trust did not improve, but her performance declined by 4 percentage points. And when you look at the granular data, a lot of it had the increase in ambivalence, no, the uncertainty about her performance. You also look at how sustained, no, the distrust and dissatisfaction in Luzon and
Anong performance kasi? Wala kasi siyang piner-perform. Diba? Ano kasing performance ang ginagawa? Oo. Teleserye, meron. Pero yung teleserye, meron. Pero kapag yung trabaho, wala siyang ginagawa trabaho. Lagi pang nasa abroad. Diba? Lagi pang kung saan-saan nagpupunta. Di wala ka talaga makikita ang performance dyan.
and Banas Luzon and the National Capital Region, no? Focus on her trust, her performance especially. So other things that I think important to notice in her case, also some sort of decline in D, class D. Okay, so is this a trend? We don't know. Is this going to continue? There's it doesn't take rocket scientists to make a projection that given the impeachment and how damning the evidence seems to be at the moment for her, this might even affect her numbers more, no, in the second quarter.
Yeah,
especially if
most
she's not
probably.
able to respond adequately. So her
Correct.
performance numbers are now dipping. Her trust numbers are not changing, and this was taken before the Madriaga, before the impeachment moved from allegation to evidence, that phase, no, in the impeachment hearing.
Pero sir, more than Madriaga, sir, the COA affirmed the disallowance of 22.3 million pesos in confidential funds for 2022. And then just today, the COA issued a notice of disallowance for 375 million in confidential funds for 2022.
Yan,
Although
yung
that's
next
still
topic
subject to
natin.
appeal. How do you think the numbers could be affected by, if at all, by these decisions?
Well, you can see that her numbers are softening now. Performance is now, in a sense, no, there's a question about it, no. And given that her focus is now the impeachment, and the impeachment allegations are damning, I think, without prejudging or preempting that survey, that she'll take a really big hit. These allegations on television are for the first time being discussed in detail. So I think she's going to take a big hit, and these numbers might even go down. But in the president's case, they might also go down, because if the government is unable to decisively respond to the needs of our everyday Filipinos, no, for assistance during this time of crisis, we also don't know if the administration can sustain these very good trust and performance numbers.
Between PBBM tsaka kay Sara, knowing na merong naging issue kay Sara Duterte, tapos knowing na merong oil crisis sa Iran, which is hitting us at the same time, I think mas magiging responsive ang tao, or mas magiging critical ang mga tao kay PBBM. And that's the honest to goodness opinion. Mas magiging harsh ang mga tao kay PBBM. Kasi mga babayan, nakadikit sa sikmura yun eh. Nakadikit sa sikmura kasi yun eh. So, ganun talaga. Mahirap talaga yun. Pero ang makakasira naman kay Sara is yung kanyang impeachment hearings. And yun nga, ito yung first time na naririnig natin yung ebidensya. So baka maging baka maging big deal din. Kasi last year, although na-impeach naman na siya last year, hindi naman natin narinig yung ebidensya kasi walang hearing na naganap. Hindi siya umabot sa House, di ba? Hindi siya umabot sa Senate. So, this is the first time the Filipino people are actually seeing the evidence against her. So, pwedeng pwedeng tamaan sila pareho, pero feeling ko between the two, mas malaki ang tama kay PBBM. Honest opinion 'yan. Kung hindi, o di maganda. Pero feeling ko mas malaki ang tama kay PBBM ng next survey. Kasi nga yung is mas malapit sa sikmura. Pero hindi naman nagkulang ang administrasyon sa pagtulong. Definitely. Nakita naman natin yung support, nakita natin yung ngayon kung paano bumaba yung presyo ng crude ng gasolina sa pump. Bumaba siya ng 3 pesos mahigit sa gas, 24 pesos sa diesel. Nakikita yung tulong sa mga commuters, nakikita yung tulong sa mga drivers. And ang maingay lang naman yung mga komunista eh. Kaso ang problema sa mga komunista, wala na silang kredibilidad. Inubos na nila ang kredibilidad nila eh. So halos wala na rin naniniwala sa kanila. So kahit na sa survey bumaba si PBBM, makaka-recover siya. Kasi merong merong nagawa, madaling masagot eh. Pero kay Sara wala talaga siyang nagawa eh. So hirap sagutin kung 'di ba? Pag tinanong ang mga DDS, may DDS ba dito ngayon sa chatroom? Oh. Press 1 kung DDS ka. 'Di ba? Press 1 kung DDS ka. Kung DDS ka, yan lang ang tanong ko sa inyo. Ano nagawa ni Sara Duterte? 'Di ba? Si Kina daw DDS. Oh. 'Di ba? Ano nagawa ni Sara? Ayan, yung mga DDS. Oh, yung mga DDS na nandito ngayon. Oh. Ano nagawa ni Sara Duterte para sa ikabubuti ng buhay ng mga Pilipino? Wala kayong masasagot. Magre-research pa kayo. Magre-research pa kayo. Oo. At kung may nagawa man siya, nagtanim siya ng puno, okay. O sino maikinabang dyan? Apo sa tuhod natin. Kasi bago mong pakinabangan yan, 20 years pa. Diyos ko, kalokohan. Di ba? So, walang kwenta. Walang kwenta talaga mga Duterte ever. Tuloy natin.
Yung survey period na kinuha niya yan, kasi I'm wondering also about the increase in the trust rating of the president. Yan yung time na nangako siya na he was asking for special powers
Yes,
to deal with the crisis, no?
we were just reviewing it, Dr. David. This was also the first week. Also, this is the week after the president announced that he will give cash hike to drivers, and this was also just a few days after they started and giving the actual cash to tricycle drivers. So it was, unfortunately, it was that week where they were delivering ayuda. So that might have had some effect. No?
Kasi iniintay pa di ba? At that time, iniintay pa actually yung legislation that will grant him the power na later, yun pala, hindi matutulog. Hindi pala ibibigay yung excise tax.
Hindi pa rin.
Kasi baka magkaroon na yung impact, yung mga ganyan.
Yeah, it's possible because of all of that. Yeah, and there are many more other possible reasons why these numbers went up. No, one thing that for sure, another study, a probe that we're releasing also this week is the economic probes. When you look at hunger and self-rated poverty, they've remained basic. They've not deteriorated, at least at that part of the year, in the first quarter until March. The numbers did not deteriorate. In fact, there was a slight improvement, if I'm not mistaken, sa self-rated poverty. So this is after Christmas, where you normally, at least in Octa, you see some sort of hit. The president normally takes a hit. Kasi after Christmas na, gutom na yung mga tao, and there's no more 13-month pay. So we were expecting lower trust and performance ratings. But I think this was sustained and actually even improved. No, so the president, there were some agencies also. So again, trust, self-rated poverty improved, hunger remained the same, didn't deteriorate. So on the economic front, that was I think the key drivers for this improvement in trust and performance. On the other hand, when you look at institutions that did their work and look at another probe, looking at where the president's doing well.
Ano sabi?
On the other hand, when you deteriorate. So
kaya raw na nabawasan, kaya daw tumaas yung trust rating kasi nabawasan daw ang gutom.
And actually even improved, no? So the president.
Wait.
13-month pay. So we were expecting lower trust and performance ratings. But I think this was sustained and actually even improved, no? So the president, there were some agencies also. So again, trust, self-rated poverty improved, hunger remained the same, didn't deteriorate. So on the economic front, that was I think the key drivers for this improvement in trust and performance. On the other hand,
okay. So malinaw pala kung bakit mataas ang trust rating ni PBBM. Kasi kahit naghihirap ang mundo, hindi masyadong nagugutom ang Pilipino. Di ba? Kahit mahirap ang buhay, mataas ang presyo ng bilihin, pero hindi gutom. Kasi pwede naman yun eh. Di ba? Pwede naman yun eh, mataas ang presyo ng bilihin, pero may pera ka pambili kasi may trabaho ka. Pwede yun. Di ba? Tulad nitong itong 4,000 hectares na nirereklamo ng mga kung sino-sino mga tao dyan sa paligid, tulad ni Edison Bong Nebriha. Hindi niya naisip na magpapasok yun ng trabaho sa Pilipinas? AI yun eh. AI infrastructure. Ang laki nun. 4,000 hectares, guys. Oo, Amerika ang gagawa, pero alam niyo po kasi sa konstitusyon natin, mga kababayan, kapag meron kang local talents, pag meron kang mga local talent sa Pilipinas, uunahin sila. Sila ang unang bibigyan ng pagkakataon makapagtrabaho. Ganun kasimple yun. Di ba? So parang yan? Yan yung Pax Silica. Oh, yan. So, natatawa ako dun eh. Kasi itong si Bong Nebriha, sabi niya, ginagawa na tayong Taiwan. Okay, so what? Yaman-yaman ng Taiwan eh. I would mind, mga kababayan, kung maging Taiwan tayo. Oo, I would not mind if our economy is as strong as Taiwan. Kasi ang yaman-yaman ng Taiwan. I don't mind. No joke. No joke. Kasi mukhang pull out na ang mga ang semiconductors ng China lilipat ng Pilipinas eh. Wala kang problema dun. Go yun. Okay yun. Pabor sa ating mga Pilipino yun. Tapos itong mga bobong DDS na to, kung ano-anong pinagsasabi, gagawin na tayo ng Taiwan. O so ano ibig sabihin nun? Sasakupin tayo ng China? Yung ba ibig sabihin nun? Diba? Nasubukan nyo na yung China eh. Ang dami-daming pogo nilagay sa Pilipinas. Yumaman pa ang Pilipinas? Hindi. Dumami ang krimen. Yumaman tayo sa krimen. Ang dami. Ang daming drug lord. Ang daming drug pusher na inaprubahan ni Rodrigo Duterte. Pati yung anak niya nagpasok ng drugs. 6 billion ang halaga. Oh, ganun kalala. Diba? Yung ba ibig nilang sabihin? Gagawin na tayo ng Taiwan. Okay, so sasakupin tayo ng China? Ganon? Yung ba ibig sabihin nun? TSMC ba yung ililipat? Hindi ko alam, Magnus, kung TSMC yung ililipat. Pero yung TSMC, yan ang pinakamalaking semiconductor plant ng China. So kung lilipat sa Pilipinas, why not? Kunin natin. Kailangan natin ng trabaho dito, oy. Oh. Kailangan ng mga Pilipino ng trabaho. Ba't kayo nagre-reklamo? Diyos ko. Ewan ko. Di ba?
The other hand, when you look at institutions that did their work and look at another probe, looking at where the president is doing well, if he's doing well in education, health, the distribution of social welfare through DSWD, protection of our OFW. So these are areas that may have also driven his numbers up. For the vice president, I think that there are only two key drivers. One is that people are looking at what she's doing now. In a time of crisis, or people are more critical. The person that they see who's doing something, that person's performance ratings generally go up. In the case of the vice president, also the impeachment. So these are the two areas that I think have had impact on her numbers. The numbers are not bad. They're just, they've changed lang over a period of time.
Prof, I know you guys at Okta have been working on a number of surveys. That's why we keep having you back on the show. I'm wondering whether how does the last one jive with this one? The last one being, the last one found that majority support the vice president facing the impeachment trial.
Yeah, I think they all fall into place. They're all, sustaining that particular view that there's rising ambivalence as far as the vice president is concerned, mixed perceptions, and also this growing perception that the president is, seen out more doing and serving than the vice president. So that's, I think that's where I think there's some change in perception. I'll try to be clear on that.
Di ba mas nakikita raw nila nagsisilbi ang Pangulo kasi labas doon ng labas, nakikita sa mga ayuda, nakikita na nagbibigay ng ganito, nagbibigay ng ganyan, nakikita sa mga construction, nakikita sa mga kung saan-saan. Tapos nakikita na ginagawa niya yung trabaho niya. Di ba ang laki ng impact? Kaysa yung ginagawa ni Sara, nakikita sa Ipugaw, ang ganda-ganda raw ng rice terrace. Maganda naman talaga rice terraces, pero di ba, trabaho mo ba yan? Nakikita yung bakasyon niya, nakikita siya sa Hague, nakikita sa wherever, di ba? Tapos makikita mo sa mga graduation ceremony ng mga high school tsaka elementary, tapos mababalitaan na gustong tawag dito, agawin yung something activity sa simbahan, etc., etc. Di ba may ganung klase? Parang masipag sa video greetings, di ba? Parang walang kwenta. Wala kasing dulot sa taong bayan eh. Malayo sa bituka kasi. Di ba? So, nag-shopping pa sa Thailand. Kaya yun. Anyway, tuloy natin to.
Yung yung action, hindi bakasyon. Yun yung sinasabi ng yung framing na yun ng gobyerno. I think it's actually working against the fact.
Shout out kay Yusek. Siya nakaisip ng action, hindi bakasyon eh. Palakpakan. Kumaagat na. May nangyayari na, mga kababayan. May nangyayari na. Aksyon, hindi bakasyon.
So,
So, Prof,
yun yung
dito sa initial data nyo, hindi tinatamaan yung presidente dito sa walang nahuhuling big fish.
well, I think, yeah, seemingly dito sa aming, parang na after December, yung trust ratings niya na nag-dip because of that, parang nag-recover. Pero we don't know, kasi nga, right now, the focus of everyone, when you look at that third probe, which is yung urgent national and local concerns, ang lumalabas ay got issues ang focus, meaning number 1, inflation, price of goods and services, number 2, yung wages, number 3, yung access to affordable food. Yung corruption, bumaba na yung ranking niya. So ang focus ng tao ngayon mukhang yung economic issue. So nag-change din eh. I'm not saying that it's not important. It's still part of the top 10, no? But it's much less than what it was the last 2 quarters. And siguro nga, the focus was less on the president and the perception that something is being done. Siguro, may mga nahuhuli na, tuloy-tuloy naman yung investigasyon. Tapos natabunan most likely ng impeachment eh. And the impeachment was a discussion from January, February until March. Nag-resonate talaga ang impeachment lalo nung last month pala, March. So, I guess yun yung mga events na feeling ko merong effect overall, not just on the Vice President but also the President's numbers.
Prof, itong survey nyo lang.
Tama na. Ama na. Shoutout muna tayo sa kay Sucubus 20. Uy, naharangan mo ako dyan. Constitutional amendment, depende sa proponent yan. Tanggalin nyo muna DDS senators, no to correct movement, DDS sila, sabi niya. Tapos, salamat sa super chat. Tsaka kay Maria Teresa Halyare. Excuse me. Salamat. I'm learning a lot from you watching from Cali, USA. Salamat din po sa inyo super chat. God bless po. Okay. So, ayan na nga mga kababayan. So, nakikita na ng taong bayan yung resulta ng trabaho ni Presidente. It's all about results. Yung drama-drama na ginagawa ni Sara Duterte, lang yun eh. It will rise and fall on that fact na drama lang siya. Drama. So, wala. Kaya bumabasa sa survey. And I think, mga babayan, mahihirapan siya makarecover lalo-lalo na in the next following days. Mas mahihirapan siya makarecover. Kasi malala eh. Malala yung mangyayari sa kanya sa Wednesday. Excited na nga ako sa Wednesday, mga babayan eh. Pero sige, hintayin natin kung ano mangyayari sa kanya. Abangan natin kung ano magiging movement ng survey. So the next survey will be around sometime in May. Ang labas niyan mga June bago mag-SONA. Usually ganyan yan eh. Ilalabas nila yan bago mag-SONA para syempre sasabayan nila yung kwentuhan ng SONA. So, but I'm also hoping for good news lalong-lalo na dito sa susunod na na SONA natin. Sabi ni Jasmine official, I think nahirapan ang survey sa mind conditioning for Sara dahil sa impeachment. They need to tell the truth now para makabawi sa bumabagsak na tiwala sa surveys. I agree. To some degree. So ayun mga kababayan, kita tayo na bit ha. Okay, God bless everyone. Bye. As senator judges, it is your obligation na dapat present ka sa mga proceedings. Hindi naman sakop ng trabaho ng Office of the Ombudsman na magpa-disqualify sa 2028. i-identify na natin lahat ng Manchurian candidates. Tigil-tigilan na natin yung kalokohan natin.